So, for my take on the Eastern Conference, should I wait for the train or should I just play through the train? Should I just roll through the train?
This is all good stuff. Do
I didn't ask for this train. The train is my thoughts on these DC uniforms and all these others coming through to
Hey,
just take them out.
listen, the train never
the
sleeps
train,
new.
the train never sleeps new.
All right, welcome back to the channel. And I am Creative Bobby. I'm a designer.
And I am TJ Tooley, and I'm a writer.
So we've done, things in the past together. TJ, friend of the channel. But this is the start of an official new show here on the channel called The Designer and the Writer. So we are going to tackle various things. In the past, we've done sports. We've reviewed sports logos. We've created our own sports whole franchises. RIP to the Alliance. Man, we had it for you guys. We had the genius moves, but
It was right there.
it was right there.
The spirit was right there for you to take.
It was right there.
And
So
pay us, of course.
chaos. But like we on this series, we're going to not only review sports logos, sports uniforms, we're also going to take a look at, logos or emblems that you might see in various storytelling, TJ storytelling, in books that we've read and shows that we watch and movies that we watch. So, but for this first episode of this, I've been wanting to talk to TJ about this and the uniform. So, whenever new uniforms come out, everybody has an opinion about them. And the NBA has, it either released or leaked some city uniforms for some teams. And I have thoughts, TJ has thoughts, starting with the Eastern Conference. Now, at the top of the Eastern Conference, we have the Atlanta Hawks and their new city uniforms. Now, with the Atlanta Hawks city uniforms, they are paying homage to Martin Luther King with their city edition. And they break it down with all kinds of little details, like with Dr. Martin Luther King's signature, freedom stars. They even have a little crown and shield symbol on the uniform for MLK. The colors are inspired by, his membership in Alpha Phi Alpha. Their colors are black and old gold. So the uniform is black and old gold. And they have like the Hawks logo on the front is in black and old gold, which I think is a nice touch. And you know how I normally feel about strokes, on around the names and the jerseys thing. Normally I'm anti, but this makes sense because it's actually a double stroke of black and old gold. So TJ, how well do you think the Atlanta Hawks did with their city editions?
Well, this is something that we're going to be discussing with all of the NBA City Edition jerseys, is that they've been doing this for many, many seasons now. This isn't like the first time. Like Nike came out and they're like, we're going to do new jerseys every year for like every team. And so if you're going to try and pay homage to a city or a region or the estate of someone, like you're going to have to get creative. And I think what Atlanta did really well here is try and bring in something different. No one's done this before. No one's worked with an official estate to do something to honor a single person's legacy and the impact they had on not just the city that they're from, but also like the state and the country and the nation as a whole. I think that this is really cool. I think that the attention to detail is there to make this something that is actually very, very, truly, genuinely special. I think this looks really sharp. I think it's going to look great on whatever court they have designed for it. I'm a fan. I'll say that. I'm a fan.
The Hawks put a lot of time and effort into their uniform design for the city. So the next team did not put much thought into it. That's the Boston Celtics. Now, here's the thing, though. It looks good. It works for me. Like it's not the most creative thing. Just slap Boston on top of Celtics there. But I mean, when we will talk about other uniforms later that may have benefited from such a minimalist approach. But yeah, TJ, what are your thoughts on what the Boston Celtics did?
See, these are the ones that I said going into this when we were prepping that I thought you and I might disagree on. And it's Boston. I From a design standpoint, it is very basic. It is very, very, very minimal. But but when you take into consideration that what they're doing is replicating the banners in the rafters, that changes everything for me because it is the banners. If you are a Boston fan at all, if you are a Celtics fan at all, then those are part of who you are. Those are
Mhm.
things that you grew up as a kid looking at, or as an adult you looked at that. They've For many of the like older adults, you got to see a lot of those go up in the rafters. Not to throw any unnecessary shade at Boston, but that they look really good from that standpoint. And it's like I said earlier with Atlanta, with these city editions, you're going to have to start doing something creative. This was an angle that no one else has taken, to do the championship banners as a jersey. You know, you talk about like some of these teams have won championships and they've worn dumbass patches on their jerseys that look like the banner they just hoisted because we're all unoriginal now. This at least is like kind of the inverse. And from a thing that fans of this channel will understand, they trusted their colors. They didn't throw an
They
unnecessary
did.
outline around the numbers or change, like add black or gold for no reason. People be like, it's the banners, but they added gold numbers. They didn't do that. They could have, but they didn't. And so, as minimal as these are, I think it's really clean. I think it's going to look great in the Garden. I think that this is something that Boston fans are actually going to latch onto really strongly, and honestly could be a third look forever.
I really like it, and I'm a big fan of clean, and I'm also a big fan of, as we say on this channel, trusting your colors. Because I don't
Hashtag
know,
trust your colors.
hashtag trust your colors. Like just trust the colors. So I salute Boston. Now moving on to the Brooklyn Nets. So here's the thing, Brooklyn. The story that you're trying to tell, I understand. Like they're trying to pay homage to Basquiat. He's a painter who passed away when he was 27, and he's a famous, like, Basquiat paintings are big time, and he's from Brooklyn. So I get that. Like I get the why behind it, but just strictly aesthetically, I don't like this at all. For me, it's strictly the Brooklyn Nets in the front, because like I get like you're painting, so painting on the side, I get that. But yeah, the Brooklyn Nets thing, the typography in the front is what loses me. But TJ, maybe you can explain this to me to where I like this.
So you, Robert, know this, and people who are watching me say this now are going to know this. I have not liked any Brooklyn jersey they've done with their BKLN in any kind of weird font or handwritten font or fun letters or bubble letters. No, just hard no. None of them have worked for me. None of them have looked that great. This, on a conceptual level, is cool. The execution leaves a bit to be desired in my book. And this could be something that means a lot to a lot of people. This could be something that, much in the same way that I just defended Boston, they would defend this. And if that's the case, please let me know if there's more direct inspiration behind the offset chevrons or the minimalist basketball court thing around the word nets or the color scheme. Something, if there's something, please let me know in the comments. I would love to know, because just looking at it, I don't get it. And maybe I'm an old person now for not getting art done by someone who was born in the 60s, but I just I don't, it's not for me. And yeah, I can't, I just don't understand it.
Yeah, I understand.
Cool
I understand.
concept. Really cool concept.
Yes, that is exactly. Now, the Charlotte Hornets.
Whew.
This Buzz City right here, son. This is fantastic. Like this, and I saw the court that they're gonna
Mm-hmm.
use for it, and that thing is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Like Buzz City, excellent name. Like the color, like I'm a big fan of that color of like teal, like that teal with that particular set, that dark gold color, and with the pinstripes. So you're referencing things like, so you're referencing things, but then you're doing it in a very innovative way, and it like you immediately are drawn to these uniforms. Like it's an immediate, like, this is, you feel the energy, you feel the electricity, you feel the buzz, if I do say so myself. So I'm a big fan of them. Also, this has nothing to do with it, but I just love how the sponsor in the corner decided to trust the team's colors and not be a bully and try to, like, I'm gonna just do my own color of my logo on there. Like, no, everything about this uniform fits for me. How does it fit for you?
This is a super great thing. One of the other sites that you sent me listed the description of like it celebrates Charlotte's history as being home of the first U.S. branch mint and the Carolina Gold Rush of the early 1800s. Mint with gold and granite accents. Granite is the state rock of North Carolina. There's just tons of meaning and tons of layers of significance to this. And then the court, as you mentioned, is just awesome. It is a really awesome looking court. You don't really see anything like that. These jerseys are going to look great on it. Permanent third jersey, if you ask me.
And that's going to do it for part 1. There are many more parts to go. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when the rest of the parts come out. Like, we're going to tackle all these uniforms. And I hope you've enjoyed this first episode of The Designer and the Writer. Looking forward to much more. A lot of great ideas coming down the pipe. But yeah, in the comment section down below, let us know, out of these uniforms, which one was your favorite? What did we get right? What did we get wrong? And we will see you in the next episode. Remember, as you go along in life, teach as you learn and inspire as you do. See you next time.